It is Sunday sit-down time. With me now virtually is former Mizzou football coach Gary Pinkel. He's an SEC legend. He's also a Missouri Sports Hall of Famer. We could go on and on with the accolades, so we are so lucky to have you here on the show. Coach, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I had a big win yesterday, which was awesome. And we're watching the Chiefs now. I can do those things now. I can kind of pick and choose what I want to do since I'm not coaching anymore.
Well, we'll get to the Chiefs game against Drew Lock in just a bit. But first, Mizzou gets its first win against Kentucky since back when you were the head coach. And it was the same score as it was in 2014, 20-10 the final. Just what'd you think of the way the Tigers played?
I think they're getting better. I should just keep getting better. I think that's really the most important thing to do. You know, learn, and keep going. It's been really difficult for them to establish their culture and establish who they are, our identity, when you have only 2 spring footballs and all the changes that every single week have come up for the last 3 or 4 months. So I think they've really done a great job. I think Coach Drinkwitz has done a exceptional with the staff too, and just being able to adapt and be able to still maintain your focus and deliver your best.
Well, Drinkwitz's game plan against Kentucky worked perfectly. 37 carries for Larry Roundtree, 62 total rushes. Have you ever coached a game like that? He had 43 minutes with the ball.
Yeah, they did. You really did a good job. I mean, we got a lot of first downs. Our defense got them off the field. Our defense played exceptionally well again. They had their ups and downs with LSU, but the great goal line stand, which would be historic. But I think at the end of the day, that's you have to see the plan that you want, and we just kept the ball, converting all those third downs. They didn't get a chance to touch it.
As a head coach, how difficult is it? Do you go from the LSU game where they threw the ball for more than 400 yards and then completely flipping the script against Kentucky to going on the ground and giving it to Larry 37 times? Is that difficult as a head coach to do that?
Well, Eli's, I really like his offensive scheme, and I like the things they're doing. I mean, he's got the ability to do anything. I think he's gifted like that. I think he's a little bit like Andy Reid. Don't tell him I said that. I think he's a little bit like Andy Reid. Those guys are just offensive guys too, and they got, they're trying to answer and make big plays off of overcommitment by the defense and such. And I can go on and on. But that's just, he's just really, he's got a good offensive mind, and I think it kind of shows you that, and our opponents, that when you play us, you better watch out, because you have no idea what we're going to do. We're very multiple. We can run the ball a lot. We can throw the ball 40 times a game, all of those things. And I think it's really exciting, certainly exciting for our fans.
Can you sort of put yourself in his shoes at all? If you look back to your first year at Mizzou, and obviously what Drinkwitz has is unlike anything anyone's ever had, and the fact that he's won 2 games. I mean, is that remarkable to you, or is it expected, or what do you think?
Well, I don't think you were born when I was first here, so when I first started coaching. But I inherited a program that had 2 winning seasons in 17 years. So do you think we had some challenges? They were incredible, and thank God those players have stuck with us, because it eventually turned. This is really is just consistency. What's happening now is he's putting in what they do per week, and when you're in coaching and you have Sunday through the Friday through this, then into your next Saturday game, every single day you have responsibilities, accountabilities. You got academic responsibilities, but you got meetings, and you got to accomplish goals and objectives each one of those days. And I think that's kind of really. It's been, I think, really pretty awesome to see the consistency, even though they've never done this for these coaches before and everything's been so new. It's a little bit surprising because it's really difficult, but I think Coach Eli and his staff deserve a lot of credit for that.
Well, it seems that Drinkwitz has found his quarterback of the future in Connor Bazelak. Obviously, we mentioned he threw for 400 yards against LSU. He was steady, throwing for about 200 yards against Kentucky. What do you think of the way he plays the game, and what do you think, where can he grow?
Well, first of all, he's from Ohio. Now, I'm from the great state of Ohio myself. And we had another Ohio quarterback, a guy named Brad Smith, that did pretty good too. So he's from Dayton, and I went to private school there. I'm really impressed. I mean, he's really got tremendous poise. You know, to be able to stand back there and have guys that weigh 280, 290 pounds and want to wipe you out. To be able to stand back there and feel it, and you know, the presence in the pocket and when to kind of move and when to go and when to leave and when to run. He's not a great runner, but he's a good runner, and so he's got a lot of tools. But the thing that I noticed the most is he's very, very calm and collected that I can see. I mean, I don't work with him during the week like everybody else does, but he'll get better and better and better. I mean, he's so young.
Well, you had a great quarterback in Drew Lock, who's now playing for the Broncos. We're taping this right now, so the game is still going on. Going up against your good friend Andy Reid and the Chiefs. I'm curious, what's that like for you having, you know, your guy in Drew Lock, and you got Alberto on the team as well, going up against your guy Big Red?
Well, you know, I'm always rooting for my players to play their best games they can, so we'll leave it like that. And I'm a fan. But Drew's a very, very talented player. He's a very good athlete. People don't realize he was offered basketball scholarships also. And he's got size and strength, but he can run. He's got movement. He can change direction. He has every kind of throw. He just needs the experience in that big arena, because that's bigger than anything he's ever been a part of. And every time you play, you get better. And I think he's got I thought it was a very good place to go, you know. And I think that was a really good team to be a part of. And I know it's probably interesting for him, because him being a big Chiefs fan his whole life, all of a sudden he's at the place he was kind of hated the whole time, the Broncos, because of the great rivalry.
So just so we're clear, you're rooting for the Broncos over the Chiefs.
I am rooting for my player.
There you go.
Any players in there. So anyway, any players, my players, I'm always rooting for them.
Absolutely. Well,
and you know me, I don't care who wins or loses. It doesn't matter. Right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having some fun. Aldon Smith, one of your former players, I know you're rooting for him. Cowboys are clearly struggling right now, but to see Aldon Smith back on the field, playing the game he loves, his story is quite remarkable, isn't it? It
is remarkable, and I get chills thinking about it, because, you know, Aldon with me, I never had a problem with him at all. And our fans can know that. At not one day have I ever had a problem with him going to class, being responsible, being accountable. First-round draft pick. Hardly anybody recruited him out of Kansas City. Aldon ends up, you know, I think his first 2 years he had more sacks than anybody that ever played in the NFL to that point. He just had trouble like some players do, dealing with all the success and so on and so forth. And just what a great story, and what he's going to do. And I've read some things too, that he's helping, working with, dealing with kids and other people that are, you know, have some of those same struggles. And, you know, here, if I can do it, you can do it.
This weekend marks the 10-year anniversary of perhaps I assume maybe your favorite game of all time, when Mizzou took down #1 Oklahoma on homecoming. When you watched the John McGaffey return, I'm sure you saw it at some point this weekend. What do you think now, looking back 10 years ago on that memorable win?
Well, we were undefeated going into that game, and you know, we needed to win a big game. We needed to do that, and you know, just really challenged our players. We had great leadership, good coaches, all those things. Our stadium was crazy. It was like, I mean, it was like we want to be. By the way, game day was there too. I mean, all those things were in place. So I'm just really proud of my staff, my players, and everybody, Mike Alden, everybody who's a part. Everybody's a part of winning. And being a part of that, but that was a great game.
Well, you've had several big events since you retired from coaching football, doing your GP Made Foundation. I'm curious, what's next for the foundation and helping the local kids across the state of Missouri?
Well, you know, when we had a couple golf outings this year. This year's been challenging for everybody in every business. I mean, you know, just the world we live in right now. But we've been really doing well with our foundation. You know, we're doubling the amount of money we raised this year as compared to last year. Again, we've only been together about a year and a half. That's in my heart. That's something that I missed really, really bad, was doing something to help kids. And we did that every day, as I've told you that before too. One of the things I always told our coaches was that, you know, we have a player recruit. Nobody in his family's ever graduated from college, and he comes in and earns his degree at Mizzou. And then he marries a gal at Mizzou, and their kids go to college and graduate, and you change a generation of family.
Well, Coach, you're doing a great job with Foundation. Look forward to continuing to cover the Foundation, and look forward to seeing you continue to help the lives of kids all across Missouri. I appreciate you coming on virtually with us, and I'll let you get back to watching Drew Lock.
Okay, go Mizzou. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back after this.